Right, okay, so we've just done the morning session. Well, kind of, yeah, morning, which was the maths. It was disastrous, if I'm honest with you. I seem to be totally fine with my 3-year-old and my 5-year-old. Gave them some coins, asked them to draw around it, which is what I was planning to do. Did some multiplication, subtraction, and I've forgotten the other one. What else did we do? And adding. And that was absolutely fine. Eldest is still, he's got the ump with me. He's still not kind of really engaging with the process, shall we say. So that's something I really need to continue to work on. It was my second eldest son that I done some research on, like I said, over the last couple of days, and found some really good websites that I thought, actually we can just do some like gamings and stuff like that. I'd been asking them what stage they was up at school, so he said he was learning about shapes. So I found an online tutorial about shapes and isosceles triangles. I mean, I haven't done any of this sort of thing for like 25 years. So, I mean, even for me, it was like isosceles triangle. Oh, yeah, brings back memories kind of thing. So, yeah, I thought I can let him do that for sort of like half an hour whilst I, again, still try and find my feet on what's the best approach. And, it was like every tutorial that I went on after 2 or 3 questions that he was asked, and then he did the answers and he was getting correct, which is awesome. I immediately then had to sign up to a subscription and pay a monthly fee. I don't work at the moment, so my other half is the only one who sort of like obviously is the main breadwinner, and we're not sure, he's self-employed, so we're not sure how long he's going to be in work for. So the last thing I want to do in an already pretty stretched budget, if I'm honest, in our house, is to sign up for something that I then have to find at the end of the month another, £10 or £8, which is what they roughly seem to be coming in at. So a couple was a bit more, like £20 a month. At the moment, there's absolutely no way I'm going to be signing up to anything like that. We need to make sure that we've got, as everyone else in the country and the world, our priority is making sure that we've got food for the children, that we've got hot water and heating, and, our gas and electric's paid, the mortgage is paid. Although obviously they've said about this holiday thing, but whether that actually materialises, I don't know. So obviously we're going to be really, really tightening our belts, and it's not something that I thought that we would need to do, because you type in free online tutorials and you kind of think in the title, the word free would give you a bit of a heads up that it's free, but it's not. They're usually free trials. So that's, again, a bit of a lesson learned for me. And hopefully you guys as well, if you're going to look to do some online tutorials. There doesn't seem to be a lot out there. Although I could be wrong. I might not have just researched it load. So if anyone does know of any that I could use for the children, I'd really welcome it. I don't want this to be a one-way kind of thing, for me. Like, I need as much help as I can get with the children's homeschooling. So if anyone does know any of the websites that are completely free and that, are going to be appropriate for age group between 14 and 3, that would be immensely helpful, because I can then obviously try and get the children potentially working on those sort of sites. So yeah, it was mixed bag. Like I said, I think it worked really, really well with my younger 2. And I think it's probably because it was easy math for me to do, if I'm totally honest, as a parent. It was trying to get my eldest, so I got his exercise books out from that he happened to have in his school bag, his maths books. So I was kind of asking him to go through what he'd been learning over the last couple of weeks, and then I was trying to work off of that, basically. But it was surprisingly hard. And then, like I said, absolute balls up with my second eldest with the website. So I'm going to have to do a bit more, I think, planning for tomorrow, this afternoon. So we broke for lunch, which is great. And actually everyone's still sat in the room though, which was really good. I was really pleased with the kids. I think it's just definitely my organisation that I need to just get. And it's really odd because I'm such an organised person. I really thought kind of got the room prepared and done all this, but evidently it just wasn't enough. So again, maybe a lesson learned for anyone that's thinking of doing this is to really, really spend a lot of time just thinking how you're going to deliver the lesson. Because again, I thought 10-minute introduction, like I said on my first post, I do this 10 minutes, then I do this and this, and it just did not work out like that at all. I just ended up winging it, if I'm honest. So I need to really reflect on that and see what I can do to improve that for this afternoon session. It might work out a bit easier because we're doing English. So I think that approach is suited to maybe that kind of subject. I don't know, but not so much in maths. And again, it's because the different ages, I think that might be quite challenging. Like my eldest is learning Shakespeare, doing Romeo and Juliet. Obviously, my 3-year-old's, nowhere at that stage. I'm not saying that it's not good for her to have exposure at those kind of things and levels, which is obviously great, but I don't need to teach her GCSE English lit, because it's just obviously just been blown my mind, so God knows what she could be thinking. But yeah, so I thought, as it's kind of fresh in my mind, I'd update you with how our morning session has gone, some lessons learned, and for me, the biggest thing that I've come out of this is definitely I need to spend a lot more time before the lesson, really planning it out a lot more than I anticipated. And I think I may struggle, to be honest, trying to, if I don't do that, actually trying to support each of the children at their different ages, because, obviously got my second eldest saying, oh, Mum, can you help me with this? And obviously I think it didn't help because the website, I was constantly changing his website, trying to get one for him to work on. But then I was spending a lot of time because I did sort of, what they called, I think what it's called, money for the counting for my youngest son. And he was drawing around it and stuff like that. So, but then obviously when my eldest was kind of like getting into a lot more, attempting to get into it a little bit more, obviously he wanted my help. So I don't know whether I'm going to be able to sustain actually schooling all 4 of them at the same time. I might have to stagger it. So I do, because my children wake up at different times, and I definitely find that they are more active at certain times of the day. So like, for example, my second eldest, my 10-year-old, he is absolutely like me. He's a morning riser. He's very fresh, always the first one washed and dressed, other than, after me. So I might look to maybe do his lesson at 8:30, for example, and do an hour with him, and then do an hour maybe with my, I'm losing track of kids here, with my third son, and then leave my eldest maybe to the afternoon, because he's definitely not a morning person. We know that body clocks change when they go into their teenage years, and they sleep in longer, but they stay awake more in the evenings. So I might adapt it so that I do the 2 younger ones, or the 2/3 younger ones, just in the morning, and let my eldest, go on his computer and, hibernate in his room like most teenage boys do, and then maybe just, like I say, he has the morning to himself basically, and I can concentrate on the other 3, and then just support him fully on his own in the afternoons, and that my other 3 kind of have a couple of hours to themselves. My only reservation, because I did think about doing this, my only concern is, realistically, as a parent, you can't just leave a 3-year-old to get up to their own devices whilst you're in another room teaching, a 14-year-old. Don't think that's going to be something that's going to be feasible. And the last thing I want is they're going to want my attention. They're going to keep me constantly interrupting myself and my eldest when I'm trying to teach him, if I'm not entertaining them in some way. Although I could potentially keep them occupied. I don't know, maybe do some arts and crafts or something, so they're still in the room, but I'm not having to kind of teach them, so they can be creative at that stage, maybe even if it is just an hour, to keep them occupied, and then, I don't know, put them in front of the telly. I mean, it's not ideal, but when you are doing this on your own, when your partner's still working, it's something that you've just got to try and work with. But anyway, I'm rambling again. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to let you know how my morning session went, what I've kind of taken away from it and lessons learned, and what I'm going to try and do with this. Although, again, it's still really early stages. So, who knows, what the end, the end progress is going to be, I don't know, it could just be completely different. Could all end up with the garden for all I know, saying the house ain't working because it's just like, I don't know, I ain't got a clue. So anyway, well, thanks for watching. But again, just a little bit of help in relation to if anyone has got any websites that they know of that currently do homeschooling or that they think is going to be really useful for me to use, the children to use. I'd really, really welcome some suggestions, and we'll give it a try. But see you soon. I'll see you, I suppose, after the afternoon session and see how English goes. It's probably one of my worst subjects, so I'm actually quite dreading it. But I think I have got... What's that? Oh, it's my second eldest. What's up, babe? Did you call me?
No.
All right. Kids. I've not said anything. My two eldest, they think this is nuts. Well, it is all about nuts, if I'm honest with you. It's just, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'm just definitely dreading this English one because what I'm trying to do is my two younger ones, I'm going to do handwriting, some spellings, and a little bit of reading. My eldest is obviously, like I said, learning GCSE, Romeo and Juliet, so I've got exercise books for him that I'd already bought to support his learning at school, and they've got some really, really good exercises within that, which I'm going to ask him to do. Again, it's going to be my 10-year-old that I think I'm going to struggle with. He's quite a keen reader, so actually he'll definitely do some reading. His handwriting could do with a little bit of practice, so we'll probably do some of that as well. But if I'm honest with you, even when I've been at his parent-teacher meeting, I mean, I don't know what the English teacher's talking to me about, if I'm honest with you. She was saying, oh, Bo needs... Sorry, I wasn't mentioning it. My 10-year-old needs to do X, Y, and Z in verb, blah, blah, blah. And I nod away at her going, oh, absolutely. I absolutely agree with you. Really needs to practice that. I haven't got a clue what she's talking about. So I'm going to try and do a bit of research again now before we do the lesson again. See, because it's made me nervous with the maths that I was going to go on a couple of these English websites, but I don't actually think that I'm going to be able to do that again. So I'm going to see if I can do some alternatives for him and we'll take it from there. But I'm rambling again. Look, this is just craziness. So I'll keep you updated with how the English lesson goes. Wish me luck. Bye.